and welcome to Nana's Crafty Home. My name is Tanya. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to crochet the Bodacious Bobbles Headband. You can find this pattern as a free written crochet pattern on my blog at nanascraftyhome.com, and I will have a link below in the description for you to take you to those free written pattern instructions. This headband features the bobble crochet stitch. I also have another tutorial for this stitch pattern. If you would be interested in checking that out, I will have a link below in the description for you. But basically, we're just going to be working bobble stitches, and those bobbles are created by crocheting single crochet and double crochets. So basic, simple crochet stitches, but each one of these bobbles are 5 double crochet stitches worked together as one stitch, and then we're working short stitches on either side to make that stitch pop out. For the tutorial today, I will be using Lion Brand Hometown yarn. This is a super bulky yarn, so this headband will work up pretty quickly, even though that stitch, the bobble stitch, does take a little bit more time because you are working 5 double crochets in each stitch to create the bobble. It does work up pretty quickly in this super bulky yarn. The colorway that I am using for today's tutorial is the Key Largo Tweed. You're going to need approximately 83 yards, just over 5 ounces, so that will take 2 skeins of the Lion Brand Hometown to complete one adult size headband. You're also going to need a crochet hook, size N/P is what I'm using here, a 10.0 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm using a clover crochet hook for the tutorial today. You're also going to need a wooden ring. You wouldn't have to crochet onto the ring. You could go ahead and just make a rectangle with the bobble stitch and then sew the ends together. You would just need to crochet more rows in order to get the length that you needed for your headband. But I do really like how there's such contrast between the large puffy bobbles and then this link, the wooden ring that links the ends together. It creates a lot of visual interest. I really love working around rings, and I'm going to show you how to work around that ring today. The wooden ring size that I'm using is a 70 millimeter. It's 2.75 inches in size. Let's go ahead and get started. So to get started in our pattern, I'm going to go ahead and get my yarn on my hook and grab my wooden ring. I'm going to be working that first row over that ring, so there won't be any need to sew onto the ring. So working over the ring, I'm going to insert my hook inside the middle of that ring, and I'm holding my yarn just as I would normally. So I am holding my yarn, I'm pulling up that ring, and I'm inserting my hook into the center of that ring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working single crochets over the ring, 8 in total. So I'm going to pull up a loop just as I would for normal, regular single crochet, and then yarn over and pull through both loops. So I've worked my first single crochet, and I'm going to be working 7 more by inserting my hook into the center of that ring, yarning over and pulling up a loop, and then completing it just as I would a regular single crochet by yarning over and pulling through both loops. So that's the second one. Here's the third. There's the fourth. Number 5. 6, 7, and 8. So I've worked those 8 single crochets over my wooden ring, and I'm going to go ahead and turn and chain 1. I'm going to single crochet in each stitch. So at the base of that chain 1, just work a single crochet in every stitch. Now for row 3, I'm going to turn and I'm going to start working a row of bobble stitches. So this is the wrong side of my work because the bobbles are going to show up on the back side of this row, so that's going to end up being the right side of my work. So we're going to start with a chain 2, and I'm going to work a double crochet 4 together in that same stitch. So this is going to be my first bobble, and that chain 2 is going to count as the first double crochet of a double crochet 5 together, because each bobble is a double crochet 5 together. So after I've chained 2, which counts as my first double crochet, work a double crochet 4 together in the same stitch, which is the base of that chain 2. And you work a double crochet 4 together by yarning over, inserting your hook, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 2, and yarning over, inserting our hook into the same stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 2, yarn over, insert our hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert our hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So I've worked 4 incomplete double crochets into that same stitch. I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops on my hook. So I've worked my first bobble. I'm now going to single crochet in the next stitch. Working that short stitch like that really pushes or pops that bobble out on the other side. You see what a difference that made? And now I'm going to work a bobble in the next stitch, which is a double crochet 5 together. So you're working 5 incomplete double crochets into the same stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. First one's made, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. My second incomplete is made, yarn over, insert my hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's my third. Yarn over, insert my hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's my fourth. Now I'm working my last one. So yarn over, insert my hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've worked 5 incomplete double crochets into the same stitch, and I have 6 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over, pull through all 6 loops. Single crochet in the next stitch. And that is my pattern repeat. Bobble in the next, single crochet in the next, bobble in the next, single crochet in the last stitch. So continue that on down your row. Bobble in the next, double crochet 5 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops. Single crochet in the next. So just continue that on down your row. And now I'm working a single crochet in that last stitch. So your stitch count will remain the same because you worked those double crochets together as one stitch. So you will still have 8 stitches for this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to turn our work for row 4. And you can see this is the right side of my work. Look at those beautiful bobbles. They really popped out. So for row 4, I'm going to work a row of single crochets. So I'm basically just repeating row 2 by chaining 1 and single crocheting in each stitch. And I'm going to repeat row 3, which is working double crochet 4 together in that first stitch by chaining 2, and then working that double crochet 4 together, single crochet in the next, bobble in the next, and repeating that on down my row. So you're basically now just going to be repeating rows 2 and 3 to the size desired in your pattern. For an adult size, you're going to be working your rectangle to approximately 18 inches, and that's going to exclude your ring. So with that 2 3/4 inch ring, you're going to end up just slightly over a 20-inch length. But you can certainly make this longer, shorter, whatever. It's easily resized. Just stop when you want to stop at the size you need. Your last row before working over your ring on the other side will need to be a row 2 repeat. So it will need to be a row of single crochets before we move on to working that last row over the other side of our ring. So go ahead and continue working those rows to the length desired, and when I come back I'll show you how to fold those ends together and work over the ring on the other side. So once you have worked your last row, and I ended after working a row of single crochets, I'm going to turn and chain 1 to start another row, and I'm going to fold my ends together. And so now the wrong side of my headband is facing up, is facing me. The bobbles are facing each other. So once I've folded those ends together, I'm going to insert my hook first into that first stitch to make my first single crochet, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the center of that wooden ring and yarn over and pull through. Then I'm just going to finish that single crochet by yarning over and pulling through both loops. So insert your hook into that next stitch. Now insert your hook into the center of that wooden ring, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. So you're basically just working your single crochets over that wooden ring. It's as simple as that. It may feel a little awkward at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy peasy. So your single crochets are going to be a little taller, of course, because you're working through that stitch as well as working over that wooden ring. You just want to pull your loops up tall enough to be able to finish your single crochet comfortably. And you want to work in every stitch to the end. So we're working into each stitch as well as working over that wooden ring for every stitch. And then we can turn it back to the right side. And now you can see once you've turned it right side out that the ends look pretty much the same, and you can go ahead and weave in your ends. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. Thanks so much for being with me. As always, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss a new video. You can find all of my free patterns and tutorials at nanascraftyhome.com. Be sure to reach out to me if you have any questions. My email is nanascraftyhome@gmail.com. Thanks everyone. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.